Right then, so today we're going to be fitting the wheel arch. Now, I've never done this before, so kind of shitting it, but you know, we'll take our time with it and stuff. Make sure that the tacks are all spaced out and that we get no warping, make sure everything's lined up and that we've got a 1mm gap so that we can get it butt welded in. Here is the panel. I've trimmed it all down to size. I've keyed the inside and we're going to paint that with some electrox and then cover it with epoxy primer. Right then, so I've just sprayed the inside of the arch with some electrox. We're going to let that dry for a couple of hours to let it bake on. And to be fair, I mean, might have to leave it overnight, I don't know, we'll have to see. But I really want to make sure that it's nice and bonded and hard so that we can key it. And then once that's keyed, then we can go on to putting the epoxy primer on. And we'll use a brush for that and just paint the inside with that, just to make sure it's nice and protected. So yeah, fingers crossed, everything should be good in that department. Right, for the time being, I've put these panels in the boot of a 25 just so they can dry off and what have you. So yeah, they're all epoxy primed, brushed it on. I mixed a bit too much, so what I had to do was I just had to basically find other bits that are obviously going to go on the car and just use up what I had. I don't want to waste it, but yeah, it's all brushed on. Hopefully it will stay. Last time I used epoxy, I had a bit of an issue with it just peeling off. So fingers crossed, we'll let that cure for you know, over 24 hours and what have you, and we'll see how it is. But so far it feels pretty good, so yeah, I just don't want it peeling. But yeah, anyway, we'll leave that in there, and I reckon job's a good one on that one. Okay, so a massive jump cut from yesterday where we got our panels epoxy primed and stuff. They're all nice and solid now, dry and what have you. And yeah, this is what we've been up to. I've been doing this for the past couple of hours. It's not really exciting work, but it's just a matter of drilling the holes for the plug welds. Still need to actually fully drill them ones out, but we'll get round to that because the drill has died, so I'm having to put it on battery. So yeah, I've scribed the panel on where to cut. That is a maximum, and yeah, it needs to go to about there, which is good. This needs obviously pushing up against, but yeah, I'm mostly concerned about this. This is quite a shit fit there, but I think it's just because there's excess metal here behind it, so you know, it'll probably butt up quite nicely once it's all cut out. But yeah, that is it so far. Doesn't look terrible. I've marked the clamps. This is number 2, that'll go there. That's number 1, that'll go there. And these are all set to a specific, you know, setting, so that when I go to cut this and put this back on the car with them clamps, it should hopefully all line up quite nicely. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, because usually when you start cutting stuff out and then putting it back on, cutting it, and then it never seems to line up right, and then you think, shit, I've cut out too much, or I've cut too little out, and you go to cut more out, and then in fact you've cut too much out. So it's just a matter of making sure that it's all lined up properly and that we don't screw it up, because you know, we'll be in a whole world of bother then. So a couple of hours later, and it's one of them jobs that just takes a lot of time, and you know, I want to make sure that this is right. I've never done this before, so really I need to take my time with it. Professionals will probably get this done very easily. So I've been slowly cutting away very thin bits. I've just cut slightly, like out of where the scribe line is so that I can trim it down and get it perfect and bang on. As you can see, we're starting to get some results here. So if we push that in, we are getting, you know, somewhere. It's lining up really nicely there. Still needs a little bit of, you know, trimming. This is stuck under there, so it'll probably be easier to trim off the replacement panel and get that lined up with that. But as you can see, you know, there's probably about 1 mil, maybe 2 that needs to come off yet, and then, you know, but it's looking good. It's getting there. It's slowly but surely getting there. And then once I've got all that trimmed and done, you know, we'll continue on with it and cut, you know, up to, you know, where we need. We've got some little things that we've probably seen in previous episodes that basically clamp this to this. You know, you've got like a little block of metal and a wing nut and stuff. You'll see them, you'll know what they are. But yeah, just gonna do more cutting away, measuring, that sort of thing, and yeah, we'll see you in another jump cut. Okay, so it's probably been another couple of hours. I'm still on with it. Just taking me time, basically. That's the best thing you can do. Honestly, don't rush it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm gonna push it into for it to meet between, because obviously that one's slightly proud. Push it in. We've got a nice gap. And look at that. So that goes all the way around up to there. That'll need trimming a bit. It needs trimming in some places. That is probably as far as I want. Actually no, because we are pushing it in there, so that should be all right. Yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much nearly done for the inner door, like the door jamb section. Need to tackle this nightmare here with all the little folds and body lines. Shouldn't be too bad. Cut it straight, so it should be fine. And yeah, this bit here, which will probably be the easiest bit, along with doing that bit there and stuff. So yeah, nearly there. I don't think I'm going to get it welded in today. If we can get it all prepped today, that would be great, because then I can just get it welded in tomorrow. Just get on with it, you know, sort of thing. Get it on the car, and yeah, go from there basically. Right then, it's the next day, and as you can see, I've been doing more cutting this morning. It's pretty much nearly there. It just needs a few more skims. That needs to be lined up with that. As you can see, it needs pushing up and pushing in. But obviously, yeah, it's all just trying to get it to line up right. So a bit more round here and round there. Maybe a bit there, and we should be good, I reckon. That's not much of a concern. This is behind the bumper, you see, so I can always just cut a slot and then weld it that way. But yeah. Alright then, the welder's out. It is ready to be welded. First tack we're going to do is here. This needs pushing up in line like that, and then that should hopefully give us a nice, you know, flush line with all these body lines here. And then same goes for this, we need to do that bit as well there. So once them two body lines are well put together, then we know that we're good to go. So yeah, it's all good. Right, so I've just been doing a few tacks. I've found that using the method known as the cut and butt works really well. This gap it's too thin, too small. I've been having really trouble trying to get the welds in, so very carefully got the angle grinder and cut and as you can see, that one's much better. That's what we want. So yeah, cut and butt, good method. So I need to go around here as well and do that. Do it in sections. So I might do a little bit here, and just to spread the heat out basically. But it is slowly getting in there. I just need to do the tacks. I've never done this before, so if I'm doing it wrong, you know, well, we'll know, won't we, if we do it wrong. But yeah. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. I've just been tacking this in place. Very quick zaps on the trigger, just, you know, to prevent warping and stuff. And I've got a damp cloth there just to kind of cool it down. I will get the air compressor out, but it's right in the back of the shed and it's behind a load of stuff, so damp cloth will work alright-ish. And just dry it up after, obviously. So yeah, but the tacks are brilliant, I'll be honest with you. But they are holding, and it's all, you know, it's all pretty much in line. This here, need to actually come back to this and sort this bit out. This needs tacking a bit more. That's a bit low, that. Not to worry though, I can push it out from the inside, I reckon. This bit here needs a couple, it's got a couple of tacks on it already, but yeah, a bit more. I need to focus on the areas that I haven't done. But yeah, once that's done, then I can start filling them in and stitching it together, and then fingers crossed, grind it flat and it should look nice, hopefully. Last thing we want is any warping, so I'm taking my time with this, making sure that it's, you know, we'll see, won't we, anyway, if it's warped when we get some primer on it. We'll see if it's wavy or not. We'll get some, what we'll do is I'll actually get some satin black paint, let it set, and then sand it with a block and see where the high and low points are, and that's where I'll know where to fill then. So yeah. Right then, well, I've totally forgot about recording any sort of welding footage, but because I just wanted to really focus on it and make sure I'm getting it right, because as I say, never done this before. So yeah, it's nearly, this bit's nearly all welded in. I mean, it's not too bad. The weld's flat, you know, nice and flat, but not sitting too proud. You can see a bit of warping. It's like a little valley, like, but then obviously we can sort that out by grinding these down, filling it, etc. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a bit of a break now, I think. Come back to it in a minute and get it all finished off. There's a few pinholes I can see, but I can fill them in at a later date. Main thing is it's in, and there's no sort of like, you know some quarters when you weld them in, you can pop them in and out. This is nice and solid, thankfully, which is good. So yeah, don't know what else I can say really. Okay, another update, whilst I still remember to record. That is all stitched now. So this is here as well, and down here. Still need to do the rest. Still a bit more there to do, and also I need to come back and do that bit there, because, you know, yeah, you just kind of like, it's hard. You get into a rhythm of doing an area and then you forget, because you think, shit, I need to go back there, because obviously if you're welding in here, you know, you forget about this. It might open the gap up or whatever, but it hasn't, which is good, because yeah, it's all good. So yeah, this is slightly out, as you can probably see. Now I don't know what it is. This is a Rover panel, and obviously this is a Honda. I don't know if there's a slight differences with the pressings maybe, but this lip seems a lot smaller than this lip here. So I'm not sure what it is, but it's not an issue. We can always, you know, grind that off, whatever. But yeah, obviously that's slightly, ever so slightly out, so I'll have to put a little bit of maybe a bit of filler or hammer or whatever, just try and flatten it down with a hammer. But yeah, not an issue though, because this is all going to be covered with trim. So but obviously we want to make a good job of it anyway, still that's not the point. Everything lines up nicely here, which is good. Also here, which is good. I'm going to do a test fit of the bumper once it's all welded on and see how well it lines up with everything. Obviously we need to do the plug welds as well, so I need to get around to doing them shortly. So yes, exciting times. So yeah, I'm going to continue on with this and we'll see you in another update. Okie dokie then, well that is all of the welding done regards to the stitch. So now we just need to do the plugs. I've started doing them. There's one, and yeah, all that is now done, which is nice to see. Warping, I mean, you can see there's a bit of warping there, can't you? I mean, let's be honest, this quarter will probably have a skimmer filler in it. You know, it's inevitable, isn't it, really? But yeah, just have to, what we'll do is we'll get some spray paint and what have you, and we'll sand it down and see what we've got. But yeah, anyway, gonna get these plug welds in all sorted, and fingers crossed we should be good. Okay, another update. Whilst the drill is charging, we're cracking on with the plug welds around the wheel arch now. As you can see, they're not too bad. I tell you what, my plug welds are starting to look a lot better than they did before. So yeah, we're just letting that charge, the battery and the drill, so we can, you know, have a break, I think, because we've been at it all day. Still yet to do the plug welds down there. I've put one in there just to support the you know, the panel, so it sits in right. But what I'm really happy about is this. Look at that. That is bang on. It's pretty hard to see because it's different colours. That's black, that's silver, but the panel gap is even, which I'm amazed at. And it all lines up with the body lines. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I really am. Actually quite overwhelmed by it, to be honest with you. Bloody hell. So yeah, and it's all nicely properly in, which is brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to finish, well, I'm going to let that drill charge, and then we'll finish off these plug welds, and then we'll come back to you. I know there's been no welding in this video, which I do apologise about, but I just really want to focus on it, get it done, and you know, because this part is an important part of the project. It needs to be done right, because people will see this. Other welds underneath it, they will not, but this is important. So yeah, we'll leave it there and we'll be back in just a moment. Right then, so that's me done for today. I've been at it since 10, I'm bloody knackered. All the tacks are in, not the tacks, sorry, all the plug welds are in, and it's all stitched around the perimeter there. Yeah, so I've put some weld through primer on it temporarily overnight to stop it from rusting, and then we'll be back again tomorrow to grind these down, make it look nice and smooth, get it painted, and fingers crossed we should be good. So yeah, not too bad really. I'm pretty happy with the plug welds. Have come out okay, to be fair. Some of them are a bit dodgy, and that inner arch is sticking out a bit. We'll just trim that off, it's not an issue. I made it bigger on purpose. But But yeah, there we go. That's all painted and stuff. I'm going to finish some ones off tomorrow. It's just that it's getting late and I just want to get me tea. Them welds there could have come out a bit better, but not too bad. But yeah, we'll let it rest overnight, I think, and we'll be back tomorrow to grind all these down. So yeah, should be good, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Right then, before we go, I've just gave the area, the whole area, a wax, cavity wax. As you can see, I've got right into the cracks, so that should prevent any rust from developing between the two panels. As you can see, oh, it's absolutely dripping out there, but yeah, you can see it's all you know, in there. It's dripping out. Yeah, you can see, look, it's all up there. It's all oozing out with little pinholes in the welds as well. So yeah, and all in there as well, that's all done. So yeah, I just thought I'd do that while it's fresh, you know, because obviously the areas that we've welded will start to rust inside. So we want to nip that in the bud as soon as possible. So there we go. That is all done. So yeah, well, as I say, we'll get on with grinding them down tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day and I have been busy this morning flattening down the welds. Now, it's not too bad. As you can see, there's a warp in there instantly. If I get my dodgy straight edge, because it's just literally a piece of metal, you can see, look, you can see daylight through there, daylight through there. It's not terrible, it's not too bad there. But yeah, there is a bit of warping. Not too bad for a first attempt though. I mean, then again, it's 0.8mm steel in it. There's going to be warping, isn't there? Big flat panel, you know, it's inevitable really. I've degreased it, I've sanded it all down with 80 grit. I'm going to put some zinc primer on there. I'm not even going to bother filling in any of the pinholes because it means having to weld and then grind it flat, and then you're just going to make the metal even thinner and thinner. In here it's pretty good, that's all nice. Down there as well, it's, you know, door strut's nice though. Obviously it needs pushing ever so slightly that way, so that just needs to mess around with the hinges for a bit and should be good. But yeah, I'm going to put some electrocs on that, let it bake on and stuff. And yeah, I had to do a little bit of work there. You can see there's a few little marks there, because I tried pushing it out slightly, because this bit here in the corner kind of sunk in a bit, so I've pushed it out and that's kind of made it, you know, a bit better with regards to warping and such. But yeah, as I say, skim a filler across there will be fine. Just make sure that you do it right and stuff. I've also grind down the plug welds on the wheel arch. Yeah, so also here, so it's just gonna, yeah, it's just timing it and getting it right. So, but I'm glad that these line up really well. So yeah, let's gonna get some primer on there now. Right, well, I think that wraps up today's video. Yeah, I've just been busy all day. I haven't even been recording because I couldn't be bothered to. But yeah, it's all zinc primed and stuff. Yeah, it's not too bad. It could be better, but it is what it is, isn't it? Also had to sort this out here. That was all flaking off. Yeah, here's inside, quite smooth actually. Yeah, I mean, as I say, filler. I didn't want to go too crazy with grinding them down because I don't want to make the metal too thin. But yeah, it's alright, to be fair, it's not too bad. not too bad for a novice anyway, because yeah, panel gap pretty decent in it, to be fair. That's alright, is that, I reckon. I've also been busy doing all this here as well, in there, and also the sill. That's the sill, all painted and what have you. Regarding the welds here, I'm just going to grind them down when I get the rest of the sill on and do it all in one at the bottom there. But yeah, still need to finish them off. I'm going to do it another day. I'm going to have a break, I think. I've been at it for a while now, so I'm a bit tired. A little bit to fill there with a little patch, not an issue. But yeah, other than that, it's alright. What's that? That's just a bit of paint that's been knocked. Okay, well, there we go. That is it. So yeah, we'll see you in another video, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, in a bit.